Okay, it's time for Garter Victory. We've made it to week 6 of our HusKAL, and you'll notice that this pattern has really neat little V's, and they are garter in the V, along with a little cable that is done. And it's 80 rows and it's an 8-stitch repeat. So we're going to look at some different ways to complete the cable and how to keep track of things. There's some tools that we can use, from cable needles to even a stitch marker to a straight cable needle. But most importantly, I want to show you how to do it without a cable needle, because that will allow you to do it the quickest. I am working round 3 of the Garter Victory pattern, and we're ready to make a cable. So you can see here that this is an elongated stitch that leans right or left. And our directions state knit 1, cable 2 right, knit 5. So cable 2 right, if you look at your pattern, says slip the next stitch to a cable needle, hold to the back of the work, slip 1 purlwise with yarn and back from the left needle, then knit the stitch from the cable needle. So let me explain that. I do have my pattern divided with the markers. I just find that really helpful. We're going to knit our first stitch, and then when it's cable right, that means that the stitch is held to the rear. So there's several ways that we can take this next stitch and hold it to the rear with a cable needle. Heck, you can even use just a little marker like this, or a straight cable needle. Please note, this is too large of a cable needle. I do not have the smaller one here for demonstration purposes, but it will work. So you want to use the smaller cable needle, and needle that is more appropriate for the size of your yarn. This is too big, but we're going to make it work. So it says slip the cable needle, the stitch to the cable needle. So you could slip it and let it hang to the back. So you just drop it to the back like that. Then it says slip the yarn. So the next stitch is to slip with the yarn in the back, the next stitch purlwise over, and then knit the stitch from the cable needle. So there are some people that like to knit it right off the cable needle. That would be an option for you. I like to put it back up on the needle and knit it. So this stitch in cables, oftentimes you'll work both of the stitch, but this is really a slip cable. So we slip this one, held this to the back. They're basically crisscrossing, and then you'll knit this, and then we'll knit 5. 1, 2. So let's do it again. Slip our marker. Pattern is 1, knit 1, cable right, slip the stitch onto a cable needle. So this time I'm going to use the straight cable needle, and I'm just going to hold it. It's a little long, it's a little longer, so you have to kind of work around that. And then I'm going to slip the next stitch purlwise. And then it says to knit. Now, that's the advantage. You got to put your yarn back behind. That's the advantage of using the straight cable needle, is you could knit right off of that cable needle. Make sure I'm not splitting the yarn. Or again, you could put it up on the needle, back on the needle. Okay, remove your cable needle, and we'll do 1, knit 5 again. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and now let's just try it with the stitch marker. Knit 1, slip the next stitch onto the cable needle and hold to the back. So right leaning is rear, so it goes to the back. Slip the next stitch over, then take the little stitch marker, put the stitch back up on the left-hand needle and knit it. This stitch does not get knit. It's simply slipped. And then we'll finish out with our 5 stitches. You can see how they're leaning right. All right, let's take a look at how my favorite method to do a cable is without a cable needle. And so this is round 5, which is cable 2 right, knit 6. So right cable is again holding to the rear. So instead of using any cable needle or anything like that, I simply insert my needle. This is a stitch that you hold to the rear. I go in the front of that and I insert it into the left-hand needle, right to left. And what's important is that you hold, we're going to trade these stitches. We're going to trade places with these stitches. And so you can use your finger. You need to support that stitch and you're going to slide it off the needle, both of them off the needle. And then you're going to go and you're going to go back and you're going to grab that and put it back on. This is simply a slip. So then all we have to do is knit this stitch. So let's take a look. You can watch while I do it. Cable right, so I enter to the front, hold the stitch, pull the needle out of both stitches, go to the back, trade places. This is already slipped, and then just start knitting. So now then this is my knit 6. So be careful when you're counting not to count that cable 2 as one of your knit 6. Okay, let's look at it one more time. In front, hold, pull the left-hand needle out of both stitches, go and reinsert it into the front, the first stitch. This is already slipped, and knit. Then there's my cable 2. And now I'll knit my 6. You could see how this is much quicker than working with a cable tool. Although if you're worried about losing a stitch, by all means use the cable tool, especially maybe if this is your first time. But I kind of challenge you to try doing it without the cable needle. I am working round 6 or any of our rounds after the cable round, and I want to show you that this is a knit 1. And so sometimes your stitch will be a bit, and this is kind of with each round after our cable round. You may have to go in there and kind of move it so that you can knit into it, because this round is knit 1, purl 3. And that's going to be pretty common with every one of our rounds, that after a cable round, that you'll have to go in and kind of dig around a bit. So here we come again. So see how I just take him, I keep my fingernail there, I knit 1, and then I purled my 3, and I'm good to go. So that's why I like the Chow-Goo needles. Got a really nice point on them that allows you to kind of be able to manipulate that stitch and get in there, and makes it a little easier to get that. Very nice. That's a completion of a right leaning, or the right cable right garter triangle. All right, now we're ready to work a cable 2 left, and this is round 9, and round 9 says knit 4, cable 2 left, knit 2. So let's read what cable 2 left says. Slip the next stitch. I've knit my 4 stitches. Slip the next stitch onto a cable needle. So let's demonstrate it on the cable needle. Again, too big of a cable needle, but we're making it work. slip it on and let it hang to the front. So the left leaning hangs to the front, the right cable right leans to is in the back. Hold to the front of the work, knit 1 from the left hand needle, and then it says, then slip 1 purlwise yarn in the back from the cable needle. So you could put it over to here, but you simply can put it on to the right hand needle and be done, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to do anyway, and then knit 2. Okay, let's show it again. You knit 4. And this time, let's use the straight cable needle. Slip the next stitch onto a cable needle and hold to the front. So you leave it in front, knit the next stitch, and then place your cable, the stitch you put on the cable needle, back onto your right hand needle. You've created the left leaning cable, and then you'll knit 2. And then one more time with our little marker. I know it sounds crazy to use that little marker, but sometimes it's just almost as easy, especially when you're doing a 1, or this is a 2, just a little 2-stitch cable. If you're doing a 4-stitch cable or something like that, it's probably not wise to use a marker, but it's actually kind of simple. You just simply put it on, let it hang to the front, knit the next stitch, and then put it back up on the right hand needle, remove the marker, and you're good to go. I'm working round 11, which is knit 5, cable 2 left. So now I want to show you how to do the cable 2 left without using a cable needle. And so cable 2 left is slip the next stitch onto a cable needle and hold to the front of the work. And so you're going to have to go, we're going to insert our needle again into the stitch that's the next stitch beyond the stitch we're cabling. And so you go, the first stitch needs to be to the front. So you're going to go in behind and you'll insert your needle just right to left. And then again, you're just going to use your fingernail to support the stitches. And you're going to pull the left needle out of both stitches, come around to the front and grab that first stitch. Therefore, we've switched their places. Now you're going to have to put this stitch back up on the needle because you have to knit him. And then this is just simply slipped over, that cable stitch that's leaning to the left. And then you knit 1. So let's do it again. Knit 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cable 2 left, and which means the first stitch needs to stay in the front. So you enter in the back. You support both stitches with your fingernail, and I'm holding in the index finger in the back. And pull your needle out of both. Come to the front. They trade those stitches, trade the places. Now you have to put this back up on the needle because you have to knit it. When we did the other one, we didn't have to knit it. We were just slipping it. So we do have to put it back up to knit this one. And then the second stitch is the slip stitch because that's the one that is leaning to the left. And that creates the stitches going cabled to the left. Now working round 12, and I want to show you again how those stitches hide from you a little bit. This is the round after our cable round. So we knit 4, and then we purl 2, and you see that one's obvious, but then the second one, he's tucked in there. So just use your fingernail, Just scooch them over so that you can purl that. And then you finish with your knit 2. Let's look at it one more time. Purl 2, there they are. See, he's kind of tucked away. First one's easy, but the second one, I like to pull that stitch away and then knit the 2. Here is our completed garter triangles, 80 rows. Really, really creates a neat pattern and a neat look. You'll know that, notice that it's a little bit puckery, but again, this yarn blocks out amazing. And so as you look at the whole project, if we lengthen it out and kind of take a walk through the whole project so far, you'll see that there's some pulling in and some lumpiness and bumpiness. But what we know is that this 100% wool, once we block it, just really looks spectacular. Next week will be some lace. And this is our pattern that we will be doing. This is really a fun lace. I'm not a huge lace fan, but I really enjoyed doing this one. So this is what we'll look forward to next week.